a late night purge just unfolded, and this happened moments after Pete Hegseth was confirmed as Secretary of Defense when Vice President J.D. Vance had to cast the tie-breaking vote, the first time that has ever happened in American history, where a cabinet pick had to be confirmed based on a tie-breaking vote. This was someone who was entirely unqualified, and it seemed that Donald Trump was waiting for his midnight purge to get Hegseth confirmed first so that other senators who may not otherwise have confirmed Hegseth, it would be too late for them to take back their vote. Let's take a look at what Washington Post here is reporting. These dismissals, they say, it will clear the way for Donald Trump to install his handpicked stooges in these crucial roles of identifying fraud, waste, and abuse in the government. And that's what the inspector generals are supposed to do. The inspector generals who Trump fired were mostly people who Trump hired from the first Trump administration, leaving them all stunned. Also, it is a violation of federal law. While Trump or any president does have the right to terminate these inspectors general roles, and these are the people who are, again, put in these positions to investigate fraud within the agencies, you have to give Congress 30 days notice based on federal law if you intend to make these terminations. It has to be given to Congress first in terms of at least a notice to Congress. So as I see it, these terminations are unlawful. We'll see if this spawns other litigation, the same way Donald Trump's attempt to change the Constitution's birthright citizenship and revoke that. And that was stopped in Washington State Court. Let's just take a look at what's going down here. This article is by David Nakamura and Lisa Ryan. It says, the White House late Friday fired the independent inspector generals of at least 12 major federal agencies in a purge that could clear the way for President Donald Trump to install loyalists in crucial roles for identifying fraud, waste, and abuse in government. The inspector generals were notified by emails from the White House personnel director that they had been terminated immediately, according to people familiar with the situation, who, like others in this report, spoke on a condition of anonymity to discuss the private messages that hit Friday night. We're talking about like midnight. The dismissals appear to violate federal law, which requires Congress to receive 30 days notice of any intent to fire the inspectors general. Some of the government's largest entities were involved. Some of the largest agencies were involved, including the Departments of Defense, State, Transportation, Veterans Affairs, Housing and Urban Development, Interior, and Energy. Most of those dismissed were Trump's own appointees from his own first term, which stunned the group. Quote, "It's a widespread massacre," said one of the fired inspector generals. "Whoever Trump puts in now will be viewed as a loyalist, and that undermines the entire system." But that's exactly what Donald Trump's gearing up to do: commit fraud, commit crimes. And he doesn't want anybody who is in a role having any modicum of independence in that role. That's why he's fired his own people from the first Trump administration, who he doesn't view as sufficiently loyal, and he wants to just put people to let him crime every single day. It's especially alarming with Hegseth now becoming the head of the Secretary of Defense, becoming the Secretary of Defense based on his background. The article goes on to say, another fired watchdog said that the new administration, quote, "does not want anyone in this role who is going to be independent. Inspector generals have done exactly what the president says he wants: to fight fraud, waste, and abuse and make the government more effective," the second person said. "Firing this many of us makes no sense. It's counter to those goals." I'll pause there. That's not what Donald Trump wants. Come on, just because he appointed you in the first Trump administration, Trump doesn't want to fight fraud, waste, abuse, and make the government more effective. He wants to make it more Trumpy. He wants to make it a crime ring. He wants to make it his own personal piggy bank. He wants to be able to commit crimes and fraud and to go on with all of the crap that we knew he was going to do. You can't be this gullible, can you? It goes on to say in this article, White House aides did not respond to a request for comment. Some inspector generals are presidential appointees, while others are designated by the heads of their agencies. They serve indefinite terms and typically span administrations to insulate them from shifts in political winds. A president can remove them but must notify both chambers of Congress in advance. During his first term, Trump fired 5 inspector generals in less than 2 months in 2020, including at the State Department, whose inspector general had played a minor role in the president's impeachment proceedings and had begun investigating alleged misconduct by then Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Some lawmakers criticized the move as a retaliatory purge. Inspectors general are designated to act as watchdogs in federal agencies with investigatory powers to look into allegations of waste, fraud, and abuse. Before the firings, there were 74 inspector generals across the federal government, some with large staffs numbering in the thousands. The news left some employees in the offices, quote, absolutely shocked, said one senior executive in an inspector general's office who was not authorized to speak on the record. This is totally unprecedented. It's what we were fearing. There was noise during the transition about him doing this and some statements made during his campaign by Trump's aide, the executive said. Now, Politico had put out a story earlier, though, talking about how Donald Trump was likely going to do this or could do this. But one of the things that they were saying in this article was that people like Chuck Grassley were defending inspector generals. And so the timing of this is very suspicious. As Kyle Cheney writes, law passed in 2022 requires 30-day notice to Congress with justification for firing inspector generals. So Trump violated federal law here. Last year, Chuck Grassley, Senator Grassley, MAGA Republican Grassley, hit Biden for, quote, complying with this law, but not providing a detailed enough explanation when Biden went about doing this. As Josh Gerstein puts it, he goes, curious that word of Trump's firing inspector generals came hours after the razor-close Senate vote on Hegseth. The patron saint of inspector generals Chuck Grassley told us in November he'd defend them and Trump shouldn't oust them en masse. So the implication here by Gerstein from Politico is that Trump specifically waited until after Hegseth was confirmed. Once Hegseth was confirmed as Secretary of Defense, Trump felt that he now got all of the senators to vote the way he wanted them to vote, including Grassley, who perhaps would have voted against Hegseth had he known that Trump was going to fire the Defense Department Inspector General, who was a guardrail, who could have been a check to investigate Hegseth's misconduct. But once Hegseth gets appointed, boom, Trump does his massacre. This also follows Donald Trump getting humiliated in Los Angeles. Remember, you had Governor Gavin Newsom was waiting right there for Donald Trump on the tarmac. Donald Trump, who was calling Newsom new scum and all of these words and mocking him. Well, Gavin Newsom said, say it to my face. Gavin Newsom waited for Trump to get off the plane, shook Trump's hand really hard. Trump was kind of intimidated by it. Gavin Newsom put his finger right in Trump's chest. And then they spoke to the press and Trump kind of backed down, didn't say anything negative about Newsom, really couldn't handle it. Very humiliating evening for Trump in Los Angeles. But this is what cowards like Trump do afterwards, where they leave and then they, now I'm just going to fire all the inspector generals. And again, this is keeping with the horrific executive orders, his other unlawful conduct. We'll see now what happens because this seems to be a violation of law by not notifying Congress. I'm sure this will spawn litigation. And also, again, he fired people he appointed. He fired his own people because he thought they weren't loyal enough. That's the update. Keep you posted with more. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Can't get enough Midas? Check out the Midas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MidasPlus.com.
Listen up. What if you had the power to create stunning visuals, logos, graphics, and ads that demand attention, all in seconds? With Artistly, that's not just possible, it's effortless. This isn't just another design tool, it's light years ahead of the competition. Let's start with the unlimited AI text-to-image generator. Simply type in a prompt, and Artistly delivers professional quality visuals, logos, banners, ads, no manual editing, no hassle, fully automated with AI. Need to recreate an image or ad you love but make it your own? That's where Mirror Magic Image Redesigner shines. Upload an image, and Artistly generates a brand new version with perfect text, colors, and layouts, all fully unique and copyright protected. What about boring backgrounds? Replace background instantly in any image with the Instant Scene background editor. Transform a dull backdrop into a serene beach or vibrant cityscape with AI that handles lighting, shadows, and reflections seamlessly. Launching a product? Skip expensive photo shoots. With instant e-commerce mockups, place your designs on professional male and female models, t-shirts, mugs, or products with pinpoint accuracy. Fabric textures and wrinkles, handled automatically. Need to fix or expand an image into various different dimensions? The Smart Image Expander fills in missing details and enhances your visuals for a polished, professional look. Got text in an image to edit? Forget Photoshop. The automated AI text editor lets you replace text effortlessly. Perfect font, color, and style, all fully automated with AI. For even more control, AI in-painting technology allows you to replace objects, change clothing, or add props. Just highlight the items and edit all with a single keyword. It's creativity on demand. Stuck for ideas? The unlimited AI photo-to-prompt decoder turns any image into a detailed prompt, sparking fresh, unique designs. And for sharper visuals, the AI Image Upscaler enhances resolution up to 3x, giving your images a high-definition makeover. Don't want to fuss over prompts? The automatic AI Prompt Enhancer takes your keyword and builds the perfect prompt for you. No frustration, just results. Working on characters or branding? The consistent character feature keeps your designs cohesive and constant across every visual. And with Custom Face Switcher, you can literally put yourself or your clients into the picture. From creating logos with the AI Logo Maker to finding inspiration in the community design feed, Artistly is packed with tools designed to fuel your creativity and streamline your workflow. This isn't just software, it's your creative superpower. So why wait? Start creating unlimited logos, designs, ads, and graphics with the push of a button.